Hi ladies, welcome to Summer Love and Day 7, and we've been talking about flirting this week. And I think one of the main reasons us women don't feel comfortable flirting or making eye contact or even smiling is because all of a sudden then we're in a situation that we might not want to be in. Have you ever had that moment where a guy comes and starts talking to you and you're like, oh gosh, like how do I get out of this? Or approached on the street and he asks for your phone number. Or maybe you're at an event like a meetup or you're mingling and now you're stuck talking to this guy like far too long when you really want to be mingling or moving out and you're like, I don't know what to do. So a lot of times what ends up happening is we just avoid those situations. We look away, we don't make eye contact, our body's really closed, we may even have resting bitch face on. Right? The whole idea is we're trying to avoid these situations because we're actually really uncomfortable with getting out of them. And my hope is tonight that I'm going to help you uncover a really great way to get out of these situations. And I call it the exit strategy. And I think it's actually even more important to learn how to do that than flirting. Because flirting, like I was saying yesterday, is really just embodying the moment, having fun, enjoying it, or even if you're alluring or you're hoping to bring a guy over towards you, it's probably a lot more easier than you think. But the key is, and why we don't do it, is the situation that we get ourselves into that we don't like. So what I call the exit strategy. So what it is really acknowledging the guy. So say let's play some scenarios. So say you meet him on the street and he happens to come up and start talking to you and you're like, oh, and he starts asking for your phone number or kind of starting a conversation. You're really not feeling it. You don't feel comfortable. He's maybe not your type. Any of these scenarios. So what you can say is acknowledging him, right? Because the guy who started the conversation with any of these scenarios, it's kind of bold, right? Especially if it hadn't had any liquor courage. And so he's taking a bold move even approaching you. So what you want to do is acknowledge that moment, right? That movement he made. So it might look like, oh, thanks very much for chatting with me. Thanks for stopping me. Thanks for buying that drink. So whatever it is, but we're going to use the on the street scenario. And then he starts asking for your phone number and you're like, oh, thank you so much. It's a compliment. However, I'm just not feeling it. Or I just don't feel comfortable giving out my phone number. If you give me yours, I might consider calling you. So you can get out of that situation. You can acknowledge him, smile, make eye contact, and then you just kind of move on, right? You kind of take your body and shift or keep walking. What if you're out mingling, right? So you're at a networking event and you start talking to this guy or he approaches you and you feel a little bit like cornered in, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, how do I get out of this? This feels really weird. What you could do again is say, oh, thanks for coming up and chatting with me. I really enjoyed the conversation, or I really enjoyed your point, or are you enjoying the evening so far? Kind of like assessing the conversation. And then a way out of it can be like, I'm going to go and go to the bathroom. I'll see you later on tonight. Or I'm gonna go look for my girlfriend and see where she's at. Or you might say, thanks so much for chatting. I'm gonna go and talk to a few more people before they leave. And so you're just acknowledging him and then saying what you need to do and then moving away, right? Kind of like interrupting even if he feels like he's talking a lot. Another one is, let's say you're at the pub, right? I've been telling you like happy hour is a really great time to meet men between 4 and say 7:30, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you're sitting at the pub at a high table and you're talking to the gentleman, right? And he's like maybe right beside you or on one of those corners and you start chatting with him and then you're like, okay, I don't want to talk to him anymore, or I'm kind of bored, or I'm not really feeling it. So again, you can acknowledge, thanks so much for chatting, or I've enjoyed the conversation. I'm going to finish my meal, finish my drink, I'm going to talk to my girlfriend. What you're doing is indicating what you're going to do next. And you can even just shift your body slightly, which helps to indicate you're not interested, right? Or that you're completed. And sure, men are going to still want to approach or still want to continue the conversation. And you can just be really polite, like, thanks so much, I'm just going to really head on out, or I'm going to move on, or I'm going to keep eating or talking to my girlfriend or enjoying my drink. And that'll be great. And if a guy is receptive and quality, he'll get it, right? It tends to be the ones that are a little bit more immature, the ones that feel they have to prove something, that'll be a bit more pushy. And those are the men that you can just totally exit out, right? Thanks, but no thanks. And you can be quite firm and move on. So the idea is really acknowledging that the men have made an effort, letting them know you appreciate it, and you're moving on, right? You're gonna move on, walk away, turn your body, change the direction. The more you practice this exit strategy, the more willing you will be to get out, to be able to move on, to not feel so uncomfortable making eye contact, to not feel so like uncertain about a situation, because the more you feel you can do this, then the opportunities are everywhere, right? Because you can talk to anybody without feeling this obligation that you owe them something, especially if they bought you a drink or they got you something. We tend to feel like, oh, I now need to do something in return. You don't, ladies, right? You can acknowledge his effort and appreciate it, but you don't owe him anything. You don't owe him a phone number, you don't owe him a drink, nothing. So really take back that power, really feel confident in your body, really feel good about doing it, and then enjoy the moment, right? Enjoy what's around so you don't miss out. And that's the biggest thing. So let me know what you think, ladies. Practice this strategy, the exit strategy, so that you can enjoy these moments interacting with men and talking to them and not feeling like you get trapped or stuck or feeling obligated. Love to hear your thoughts, and I can't wait to connect with you. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.